journey through 8 retreats of 3 days each with a cohort of 25 physicians or 25 K through 12 teachers or 25 whoever, and we announce no fixing, no saving, no advising, no correcting, there's always someone in the group who says, well, what in heaven's name are we going to do for the next 2 years? You've just taken away the only things we know how to do. Well, what we're going to do in the absence of those behaviors is we're going to learn to listen deeply to each other, and we're going to learn to ask honest, open questions to hear each other into speech, which I think is another of the most critical tasks of our time. So many people unseen, unheard, they need to be heard into speech. How often are you asked a story about your life? It's been happening at this conference, and a lot of safe spaces have been created at this conference, which is one of the reasons I admire pop tech so much. The asking of honest, open questions is a high art. We are not gifted at it. I've been at it for 25 years and I'm still learning. Have you thought about seeing a therapist is not an honest, open question, right? And we love to ask questions like that. So there are things we can do, but it's a discipline. It's a discipline.
Courtney, you wrote a column or a blog somewhere about listening as a social technology for an innovative social innovation for the 21st century.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the point is it is an art, and it's not something that we have to relearn it.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of space, and we don't actually have a lot of practice. The forms we use to discuss difficult things are not actually about listening.
Right.
They're sometimes about waiting your turn until the other person has finished what they have to say so you can speak, which is not listening.
Totally. And I think I'm actually on the board of the Center for Courage and Renewal, and so I'm deeply invested in the practice that Parker's talking about, and was part of this group of young activists who got together and went through this process. And I think for a lot of us, what was so jarring in the best possible way was we realized how little of that kind of listening we were doing, and how little of that kind of listening we were being listened to in that way, how rare that was for us. And I don't think unless you create those spaces, you don't have a place to grapple with your own power. I mean, we talk about rebellion and we think about the powerless rebelling against the powerful, right? But the people in this room, are generally holding a lot of power. And where are the spaces when you are able to tune in and question how you're actually using that power, whether it's money or time or networks or whatever it is? I think it was a sort of soul-shaking experience for me to have a moment to pause and go,